Health, home, and happiness.
And that is what we're about.
Clean Cayman Invasion.
Attention Northside and Eastern residents. The Department of Environmental Health, Northside and Eastern bulk waste collection will take place between May 27th to June 1st. This bulk waste collection will replace the traditional year-end collection. Household appliances, furniture, and other items too large to be handled by the weekly DEH collection crews should be placed by the roadside where it is easily accessible to the DEH collection crews. Metals and vegetation should also be separated from other bulk items. Do not obstruct the roadway or storm drains or place tires, construction and demolition waste, hazardous materials, or electronics. For more information on the Northside and Eastern bulk waste collection from May 27th to June 1st, please contact the DEH's Solid Waste Management section at 949-6696.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Friday, the 24th day of May 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a belated happy birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that this segment of the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. And to those of you who are out there, we ask you to reach out and help to comfort those who have lost loved ones. Don't inquire because you're curious and you want to hear someone's name or description of someone's family. If you know them, reach out to them, because in their time of need, this really is the opportunity for you to do your part, as well. So do it for genuine reasons and not out of curiosity as well. Those of you who are ill, if you're at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So folks, again, we want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Toll-free number still not working? I don't believe so. 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261 as well. So let's look at the birthdays being celebrated today. We see where Mr. James Ebanks is celebrating birthday today. Also, Olujimi Lapierre, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Olujimi Lapierre, celebrating a birthday tomorrow. On Sunday, Miss Shirley Jervis celebrating a birthday. And today, the singer Patti LaBelle Holte celebrating a birthday also. We've also been asked to wish a happy 29th birthday to Luke Gonzalez. His birthday was yesterday, so it'll be a belated happy birthday to Luke Gonzalez from his mom, family, and friends. So Luke Gonzalez, belated happy birthday to you as well. If you know someone who is celebrating a birthday today or over the weekend, please share that information with us so that we can give them here on Radio Cayman's For the Record birthday shout-outs, a big birthday shout-out, courtesy, of course, of Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. We will have guests in the studio at 8:15. I'm encouraging you from now, if you when we return from the commercial break, I will tell you what we will be talking about. We're encouraging you to then send in any questions or comments that you may have in that regard, because we will not be taking any phone calls, but we will be accommodating your queries or your comments via a WhatsApp number, which is 925-3261. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Una Ideen Bush, Certificate of Honor, 1908-1995.
Miss Una devoted a lifetime of service to her country and community. She began her career as a school teacher and rose to head the Government Savings Bank, which she developed as the first banking institution in the Cayman Islands. She served her church and community in many other ways, including as a Sunday school teacher, organist, Girls Brigade leader, founding member of the Business and Professional Women's Club, and member of the Garden Club.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Magic and Wine with David Menken, Friday and Saturday, June 14th and 15th. 2 evenings of whimsical summer excitement, the elixir of magic and wine. Join David Menken, the international champion of magic, for an intimate evening of fine wine and world-class magical artistry. The Ballroom at C. Alyssa, Al and Melissa Thompson's residence. Magic and Wine, a Rotary Central fundraising event. Get your tickets through eventpro.ky. Attendees must be 18 years and over. Audio and video recording restrictions apply. The magic of Rotary.
The Christian Association of Civics is pleased to announce that the March for Jesus will be taking place in Cayman Brac, 22nd of June, 2024. Visit Christian.ky for more information or call or WhatsApp 929-6657. Cayman Brac, get your shoes ready. It's the March for Jesus coming on June 22nd.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so our phone lines are open until 8 o'clock when we go to the 8 o'clock news. When we return from the 8 o'clock news, we will have representatives from the Ministry of District Administration and Lands in the studio with us. They will be talking about the IMAP, which is the Shoreline IMAP, an interactive map, and it is an online tool that is available on the government website, and we will provide you with that information. As a matter of fact, we can give it to you now. It's available on www.gov.ky/shoreline. It allows users to explore the 3 Cayman Islands and to locate public, pedestrian pathways to the shoreline, as well as public beach areas as well. So that is what they will be talking about, that IMAP, the interactive online portal or tool that will allow you to explore the 3 Cayman Islands and to locate public pedestrian pathways to the shoreline, as well as public beach access. They will be on. If you have any questions or comments in relation to it, please send them to our WhatsApp number 925-3261. Meanwhile, talking about access, this is a crazy one of sorts. Those of you who may have heard about it already, don't want to bore you, but there's an article in Cayman News Services website talking about the this appeals tribunal, which has refused an application for an offshore columbarium. Says plans by landowners to create a columbarium on Columbarium. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. You know, the Cayman style and the tying everything together in Cayman Brac, with 3 12-foot walls to store the ashes of dead foreign rich people, have been thwarted by the Planning Appeals Tribunal in the sister islands. So not only will the live rich people leave us alone, but now we have the dead ones, you know, coming at us as well and wanting to, you know, to create situations, rich people, or dead or alive. So it says here that after it upheld the decision by the Cayman Brac and Little Cayman Development Control Board to refuse the planning permission, the aim had been to cater to a demand. Listen to this, folks. The aim had been to cater to a demand from high net worth people to relocate their tax domicile here to avoid death taxes. The application by Jonathan de Urban Palmer and Diane Palmer to create a space for the cremated remains of thousands of people on Block 102A, Parcel 308, on the Bluff was refused by the Development Control Board on several grounds. These included the incompatibility with the residential neighborhood and that it would introduce noise and nuisance. The board also said the massing, scaling, proportion, and design of the development was inconsistent with the historical architectural tradition of the islands, and that there was no evidence of a pressing need for a cemetery at that site. Of course, there's no pressing need. It's a convenience to save money for the rich. While the tribunal ultimately agreed that the Development Control Board had followed the laws and refused permission based on the incompatibility and size of the project, Magistrate Christiane Gunn, who chairs the Planning Appeals Tribunal for the Sister Islands raised concerns about other aspects of the refusal. The board had said that the adverse impacts of allowing this development would significantly and demonstrably outweigh the benefits touted by the applicant. Well, again, I'm going to pause for a second. The benefits to whom? What would the people of the BRAC benefit by having the remains of rich people stored on their property so that the families of those rich people could derive death tax benefits as a result of it? Goes on to say that, however, the tribunal noted that the Development Control Board had not identified the adverse impacts and benefits or explained how they were weighed, concluding that the Development Control Board's decision is wholly inadequate in that it does not identify and address how it dealt with any of the appellant's arguments or those of the objectors. A generic, vague statement is wholly unsatisfactory. And you've seen this in many decisions that are taken. That is why it is extremely important for board members to know certain aspects of the law. There are those out there who believe that as a board member you simply refuse something, but in refusing you can also suffer the consequences of refusal if it isn't done in a proper legal fashion as well. So this is what the chairperson of the Appeals Tribunal has pointed out. They have given a reason, but they haven't explained exactly why. And it is important to go into details on that. Article goes on to say that the Planning Appeals Tribunal ruling urged the Development Control Board to be more transparent about the decision-making process because they risked decisions being set aside due to ambiguity or lack of reasons. Extremely important. And, as a layperson, I can understand what the magistrate is saying and certainly agree. And I would urge all of you who are non-legal persons and are on these statutory boards, please read this article. At the time of the planning application, the owners and their representatives had argued that the demand for a columbarium contained up to 5,000 niches, each with as many as 5 urns, was for high net worth foreigners to relocate their tax domicile to a low or non-tax jurisdiction to avoid death taxes. Changing domicile would involve the purchase of a niche for an urn, the purchase of local property, and the setting of a will in the Cayman Islands. So who would benefit from this? The lawyers would benefit from this. As a result of the will, the Cayman Islands government would initially benefit by stamp duty on the property, and after that, absolutely nothing. Who would benefit? The rich and their families as well. They also said it would bring around 300 new high net worth individuals and families to the island each year. This in turn would increase property value and attract more tourists to the BRAC. Annie Russell.
Information.
Folks, that's the signal that it is the top of the hour for 8 o'clock news. I will have to abbreviate sharing this article with you, but if you have an interest in it, go on to the Cayman News Service website, find the article. Planning Appeals Tribunal, PAT backs DCB's refusal for offshore columbarium. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check, 8 a.m. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Kersley Fuller. The police asked the public to be considerate after a young woman is found dead on Thursday. Just before 7:15 on Thursday, police and other emergency services were sent to a home in the Governor's Harbor area where a sudden death incident had taken place. Police confirmed the victim was a young female and that the circumstances are subject to investigation. In addition, police say they are aware of, quote, messages and speculation regarding this incident that have been circulating on social media, and the public is being asked to, quote, be considerate of the privacy of the victim's family. Police say the public should avoid assumptions and speculations regarding the incident and any language and images that may identify the victim and her family, deeming them as, quote, insensitive, with the potential to, quote, undermine the coronial inquest that's currently underway. In other news, June 1st is just around the corner, and the latest predictions say folks can expect a very active hurricane season. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and forecasters at the Climate Prediction Center issued their seasonal forecast for the approaching 2024 hurricane season on Thursday, and it aligns with the earlier forecast issued by Colorado State University, with above normal hurricane activity for the Atlantic and Caribbean basin this year. NOAA said the factors that favored heightened tropical storm and hurricane activity include the expected transition to La Niña conditions, along with the above-average sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic and Caribbean Sea. Warm water is a necessary ingredient for cyclone formation. NOAA is forecasting a range of 17 to 25 total named storms. Of those, 8 to 13 are forecast to become hurricanes, and 4 to 7 major hurricanes. That is a Category 3, 4, or 5 with winds of more than 111 miles per hour. On tips on how you can get ready for the upcoming season, head to caymanprepared.gov.ky. Got a flight today? Unscheduled maintenance may have shifted your travel. Cayman Airways says as a result of an aircraft having to be removed from service for unscheduled maintenance on Thursday, they've had to implement a revised schedule for their flights today, which you can find at caymanairways.com. The national airline says it's working on minimizing further disruptions over the next few days, quote, by way of scheduled consolidations and contracting with other service providers. The priority at this time is accommodating the travel needs of affected passengers who are being contacted directly by email and by the Cayman Airways reservation team with updates. In regional news in Jamaica, Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake says he doesn't foresee government preparing legislation anytime soon that will mandate business owners to install cameras at their establishments to help police in crime fighting. Given that hurdle, Blake told members of the Jamaica Police Federation to intensify discussions around the importance of closed-circuit television with members of the business community island-wide as part of enhancing the use of technology in crime fighting. With the installation of CCTVs by the business community, the government, under its Jamaica Eye program, is hoping to benefit by having cameras pointing to the roadways, which police would use to help in their crime prevention, crime fighting techniques. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Kersley Fuller.
BBC News, I'm John Shea. The Israeli military says it's retrieved the bodies of 3 men who were abducted and killed by Hamas militants during the October the 7th attacks. They were recovered in Jabalia in northern Gaza, the scene of intense fighting. State media in Iran say the army has found no signs of criminal activity in the helicopter crash that killed the country's president last Sunday. A preliminary report concluded that the helicopter caught fire after hitting an elevated area in foggy conditions. The United Nations says 45,000 ethnic Rohingyas have been forced to escape fighting in Myanmar's Rakhine state. They fled to the border with Bangladesh after a rebel group took over the town of Buthidaung from the army. Dozens of people are feared to have died in a huge landslide in Papua New Guinea. A mountainside gave way, burying people as they slept. Allies of Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan have clashed with officials who arrived with diggers to demolish the party's headquarters in Islamabad. The government says the building was illegally constructed. A global body that sets rules on intellectual property has agreed a treaty to protect traditional indigenous knowledge on plants and animals. Under the Biopiracy Agreement, companies will have to specify the origin of genetic resources used in a patent application and to say whether the knowledge came from indigenous people. An Uzbek gymnast who's competed in every Olympics since Barcelona in 1992 says she won't be able to take part in her 9th Games in Paris. Oksana Chusovitina, who's 48, says an injury means she's missed her chance to qualify. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Research has shown that worldwide, women have unique barriers to accessing health care. But what's the situation in Cayman? We want to know. From May 1st to May 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be undertaking a public consultation to help inform Cayman's new National Health Strategy. Tell us about your experiences with healthcare across all 3 islands by emailing mohfeedback@gov.ky or by logging on to gov.ky/health-wellness.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning, my friends. Let's take a look at your weather this Friday morning. Compliments of our friends at CG Britcade. It's a little bit cloudy. Present temperature 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Last night's low was at 82. But the real feel out there is now at 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 11 miles per hour. Relative humidity about 74%. The barometric pressure is at 29.88 inches. A slack pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean will continue to support light winds and seas across the Cayman area during the next few days. Our forecast calls for 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s with a heat index near 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Looking at later this evening, partly cloudy skies, 20% chances of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. High tide is coming up in this hour at 8:58. It's going to be low at 3:49 this afternoon. High at 11:08 tonight. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Monday evening. That, my friends, is your latest weather.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Brit K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brit K, where people come first.
All right, my friends, let's take a look at your traffic this morning. Looking at the east-west arterial, traffic is flowing smoothly until getting to the Red Bay roundabout. That's where you'll run into a little bit of traffic. Those continuing through South Sound will experience some free flow of traffic until getting nearer to the Georgetown area. Looking down at the CUC roundabout, traffic seems to be flowing smoothly as you turn on to the Linford Pearson. But of course, getting further down, you will run into some traffic, similar with on Crew Road with slow moving traffic. Looking at Bobby Thompson Way, similar with lots of traffic there, getting past the traffic lights on Huldah Avenue, slow moving traffic towards the CNB roundabout. And of course, continuing on, if you're heading to the Butterfield roundabout, expect traffic in that area. Most streets in Georgetown seeing fair to fine traffic along Shedden Road, Edward Street, Seafarers Way, Norchard Street, West Bay Road, Godfrey Dixon Way, and of course Eastern Avenue. Traffic is flowing smoothly. Roberts Drive seeing some smooth traffic, a little bit of a congestion along the North Sound Road. And of course, West Bay Road seeing some good flow of traffic heading out into Georgetown or up into West Bay. And traffic heading eastward bound, moving smoothly as ever. Cayman Brack and Little Cayman, light traffic this time of the morning. I urge you to buckle up, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your day. That's your latest traffic reports.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Hey, this summer, discover adventure, magic, culture, nature, and so much more with your Cayman Airways. Airfares are now on sale for travel this summer between Grand Cayman and all of our international summer destinations. You can visit New York, Denver, Los Angeles, Miami, Tampa, Kingston, Montego Bay, Panama, Havana, and La Ceiba. But hurry, this summer airfare sale ends on June 1st. Be sure to call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or you can book online at CaymanAirways.com. Make this your best summer yet with Cayman Airways.
The 23rd Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts, Tranquility, is here. Presented by the New Self-Help Foundation, Sunday, June 30th at the Hartwell Theater. Awesome performances by Rico Rolando.
Here we go again, there's something in this water.
Dream Chasers, Radiance Dance Studio, UCCI Dance Company, Centerpoint Dance Studio, Cayman National Dance Company, and more. Hosted by Anika Connolly and Lloyd Barker. Part of the proceeds from the talent exposition will go to support the training program of the arts. Tickets are available from the #1 shoe shop and Winner's Circle Sports. Prepaid tickets $15 or $20 at the gate. The 2024 Talent Exposition of the Arts, Tranquility, Sunday, 30th June at the Harkwell Theater. Gates open at 5. Show starts at 6. Get your tickets today.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets. Ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
This is Cody Scott, and I work in the water and wastewater sector. I am concerned about the vulnerability of our island's freshwater resources to climate change. Less rainfall and sea level rise affect the amount and quality of our natural freshwater. Households and the agricultural sector depend on these resources, as do our wetlands and forests. Protecting our freshwater resources is a critical priority. To learn more about the climate risk to our islands, visit www.gov.ky/climate change policy.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As I promised, we would have guests in the studio. We have representatives from the Ministry of District Administration and Lands in the studio. We have the Acting Chief Officer, Mr. Wilbur. Welcome. And Cayman Islands government is almost getting like Hollywood now. We have so many actors, it's unbelievable. Everybody's acting. We have to get those persons permanently in those substantive positions, as well. Also, the Public Lands Commission Secretary, Ms. Melissa Brown Watler, and the Minister of District, Administration and Lands Communications Manager, Ms. Patricia Bersing, as well. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Okay. I want you to tell us about give us a little background information about the Ministry of District Administration and Lands, its purpose, and then we're going to go around the table and at the same time tell us your specific roles, what it is that you do. You may want to give us a little history in terms of when you joined the department, as well. A little icebreaker for us.
Excellent. Well, I guess I'll start first and break the ice.
Sure.
Good morning to the listening public again. My name is Wilbur Welcome. I'm the Acting Chief Officer for the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. The ministry was formed in 2021. Following the election of 2021 under the leadership of the now Honorable Premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly. Under her leadership and guidance, we provide strategic policy advice and guidance to the departments, units, and boards and commissions under the ministry. So those include the Department of Lands and Survey, District Administration in Cayman Brac. We have 2 statutory authorities in government companies, which are Water Authority and the Sister Islands Affordable Housing Development Corporation. We also have a few boards and commissions, such as the Public Lands Commission and the Inspectorate, which consists of inspectors that carry out the enforcement of the Public Lands Act and Public Lands regulations. And of course, we have our core ministry team that make a lot of this stuff happen. We are a small team, but we like to punch above our weight, so we do try to carry out some major projects and functions. Just last week, Friday, we were in Cayman Brac for the groundbreaking of a major capital project, which is the accommodation block to facilitate major construction in Cayman Brac. That's another one that's going on. We have some other campaigns going on, but I know today we're here to talk about our Shoreline IMAP campaign, so we'll get into that a little bit more. My background, most people in the Cayman Islands would probably remember me from financial services. I worked in the Ministry for Financial Services for a little over 8 years, working on various laws to keep us off those vaunted grey lists and other color lists that arise from time to time. The most recent piece of work I probably did for financial services before leaving was the Nonprofit Organizations Act. And we did a lot of public education and coordination on that.
And that is where your name resonated as well. I've heard so many people talk about your demeanor and everything, and how helpful you were. You made them feel so comfortable when they were navigating something that they considered to be a very difficult road.
Good. I'm happy to hear that, because that was the intention of the government, to not make it a difficult road, but to ensure we had something in place that we could easily identify our nonprofit organizations and make it easy for them to operate. But again, that's a little bit about my background. I've moved on.
Now an actor.
Well, my substantive role was Deputy Chief Officer in Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture and Lands in 2019. And then, of course, COVID happened in 2020, and then elections 2021, and voila, Ministry of District Administration and Lands. But I must say it's been an excellent opportunity and learning experience, and we look forward to delivering this and other projects for the people of the Cayman Islands.
Excellent, excellent. Tell us who the lady to your left is.
Oh, the lady to my left is the lovely Melissa. She is our PLC secretary. So just a little bit of background about the PLC. So the PLC is formed under the Public Lands Act and Public Lands Regulations. But the staff that support the PLC are ministry staff. So the PLC is a commission that is formed of members of the public as well as some ex officio government members. But Miss Melissa, who is the secretary, sits in the office that we call the Public Lands Inspectorate. And that consists of herself as secretary as well as inspectors that go out and enforce the law. But I'll let her talk a little bit more about herself and the vital role she plays and how integral she is to
the gatekeeper. She's the gatekeeper. Yes. You can't get in through the gate unless she let you in.
Thank you so much for having me again. So as ACO mentioned, my name is Melissa Brown-Watler. I'm the Secretary of the Public Lands Commission. As a Secretary, I plan, organize, and provide full administrative secretarial support to the Public Lands Commission and the Inspectorate. This is heavily involving interaction with the general public, assisting them with their bookings, assisting with permit applications and general reports of all sorts. We deal with quite a number of aspects of enforcement and regularizing use of public lands. As ACO mentioned, we have a group of commissions that's comprised of 6 Caymanian members, each represented from various districts, Georgetown, West Bay, Bordentown, East and North Side, as well as Cayman Bracken, Little Cayman. And our ex officio officers, or members rather, come from, range from the Director of Lands, chief officers from Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Planning as well. The Commission mandate is to regulate the use of public lands and the public interest in particular, to regulate use and enjoyment of public lands by members of the public, and to protect the right of access and use of public lands by members of the public, including enforcement over public right-of-ways and private lands, just to name a few.
Excellent. Ms. Piercing.
Hi.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Patrice Bersing. I am the Communications Manager for Ministry of District Admin and Lands. I've been in communications all my life, so well over 20 years. People may know me from various programs and productions, both in the private and public sector. In my current role, as a strategic communicator, it's just a fancy way of saying I need to establish public trust and credibility through programs that ensure that we're transparent and we're responsive with information. And so today we're here to talk about one of our programs in our attempt and aim to maintain public trust and transparency with what we're doing within the organization to serve their needs.
Okay. So how, Mr. Welcome, how important it is, for government to have control over public lands? There was a point in time when there was no such commission, and we saw what occurred as a result of that. So when it came time then to sort of get things in order and put some order to the use of public lands, it in some instances became quite contentious as well. But how important is it for us to have control over the public land?
It is extremely important, and I'll talk about the elephant in the room that everybody knows that it is relatively out of hand, which is 7 Mile Beach. So that is a prime example of what we don't want to see manifest itself across the beaches or our public lands. We want order. We want it to be regularized and things to operate in a professional and respectful manner. So without the Public Lands Act, which only came into force in 2017, people were kind of left out there doing what they wished, and you had various entities within government giving various approvals to do different things on Crown land, which the government of the day thought, and rightly so, that it's best we concentrate this all in one area. And I know it has taken some time to bring order to, quote unquote, the chaos, but we are well on our way, and we anticipate that by the third quarter of this year, we'll have that 7 Mile Beach situation regularized. The rest of the beaches, as I've mentioned previously and Melissa has mentioned, are inspected on our regular rounds of inspections by our inspectors. But part of this Shoreline IMAP campaign is we want feedback from the public. So if the public goes to access and sees that it's blocked, drop an email to the Public Lands Inspectorate, or give them a call or send them a WhatsApp, however you want to contact them. We want your feedback to let us know not only how to improve the app, but also what are you seeing on the ground. I know enforcement is a general issue throughout the island, but one of the ways we can assuage that issue is by having the public become part of the solution, by them helping police and take responsibility for some of this by saying, I saw this and I'm going to tell the inspectors, so the inspectors can come out. Right now we have 5 inspectors, and if you think about the breadth of the public accesses and beaches that we have, not only here in Grand Cayman, but in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, we really, really, really want to engage the public and get the public on board with helping us to monitor them and use them, and feel a sense of responsibility for them, so that it's not just left to 5 persons in an office in Georgetown to drive around the whole island, travel to Cayman Brac, travel to Little Cayman, and be expected to ensure that they're all in order all the time.
Exactly. Well, that's a good juncture for us to take a commercial break. When we return, and we're going to talk about the Shoreline IMAP and what it is all about. Folks, don't forget that we will accept your questions or comments. Maybe at some point in time during the show, we will have the ability to open the phone lines, but we want to impart as much information as we possibly can to you. So we're encouraging you, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to our WhatsApp number 925-3261. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Christian Association of Civics is pleased to announce that the March for Jesus will be taking place in Cayman Brac, 22nd of June, 2024. Visit Christian.ky for more information, or call or WhatsApp 929-6657. Cayman Brac, get your shoes ready. It's the March for Jesus coming on June 22nd.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens. and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
Research has shown that worldwide, women have unique barriers to accessing health care. But what's the situation in Cayman? We want to know. From May 1st to May 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be undertaking a public consultation to help inform Cayman's new National Health Strategy. Tell us about your experiences with healthcare across all 3 islands by emailing mohfeedback@gov.ky or by logging on to gov.ky/health-wellness.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
This summer, discover adventure, magic, culture, nature, and so much more with Cayman Airways. Airfares are now on sale for travel this summer. Visit New York, Denver, Los Angeles, Miami, Tampa, Kingston, Montego Bay, Panama, Havana, and La Ceiba. But hurry, sale ends June 1st. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or book online at CaymanAirways.com. Make this your best summer yet with Cayman Airways.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. The topic of discussion in this segment of the show is the Shoreline IMAP that has been launched by the Ministry of District Administration and Land. So we have the pleasure of having in the studio with us the Acting Chief Officer in the Ministry, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, the Public Lands Commission Secretary, Ms. Melissa Brown-Watler, and the Communications Manager, Ms. Patrice Bearsing. So we have a folder on right in front of us, and government is renowned for its folders. I was at a board meeting yesterday, and the secretary was saying, folders. We can't get enough of them. We need them all the time. But you've taken this folder and you've done something with it.
Remarkable.
So tell our listening and viewing audience exactly what has taken place.
Well, I'll let ACO tell us what the folder is and what it contains first, and then I'll shoot it back to me and I'll tell you what we've done with it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So for those of you that are watching online, and those of you that aren't, So for those watching online, we have a large white binder in the studio, which is the Beach Access 2017 report. It is over 1,000 pages easily. And for those of you that are just listening, feel free to go to the Public Lands website. You can find it there in PDF, but it will take a few minutes to download depending on the speed of your internet.
Yes.
So what we've done, and I'll let the comms manager take it away shortly, but this report is now at your fingertips. And I'll let her explain what that means, but no longer do you need to thumb through over 1,000 page report, whether you're doing it online or you've got a hard copy printed, and the tool is now replacing this report to put it at your fingertips.
But what's in it? What's in the report, ACO?
Gotcha. So the report details each and every beach access across the Cayman Islands, and it was a piece of work undertaken by the Chief Surveyor of the Lands and Survey Department, which was also part of the commencement of the Public Lands Act in 2017. So it identifies the locations as well as gives maps and details of each public access to the shoreline across all 3 islands. So it details them in extreme detail. I'm talking about the locations, the widths, the numbers, what block and parcel they're on, if they're on multiple blocks and parcels, who's the owners of those blocks and parcels at the time. So that's why the report is so large and cumbersome. It is very, very detailed. So if anyone has a lot of time on their hands, they can feel free, like I said, to try and download it and read it. But we've now amalgamated all of that information to an application. It is at your fingertips. Plus, we've added in our public beaches. And we'll talk a little bit more as we go along about where we see this going in the future, not only an app, but what other types of crown lands we think will be added in the future. But I'll let the comms manager speak a little bit about the digital tool.
You're doing a great job. So when ACO came into the ministry, or when the ministry was formed in 2021, further down the line in 2022, when we encountered this document, which was well done, in terms of improvement and making the lives of those we serve better, he sent out a declaration. He's like, I need this to be digitally transformed. And simply what that means is a tool whereby the public could actually access the information easily. One, identify that it even existed, because for us to circulate this document, as you said, it would take sometimes 10, 15 minutes just to download it, one. And two, did they even know that it existed? And so we created a prototype, and I'll talk to you more about what a prototype is, because it's not our final version, called a Shoreline Interactive Map, or Shoreline IMAP. And what the Shoreline IMAP does is provide an online tool where people who use it, or users, can explore all 3 islands and locate the public pedestrian pathways or the public beaches. So the public pedestrian pathways, if you're driving on any main road and you see those signs, those are the public pedestrian pathways. And then we know what public beaches are. There are over 300 public pedestrian pathways. When I started, I was very taken aback. I didn't know that. And partially that's because, one, I'm not driving around all of the islands to count each sign. And two, there are some that haven't been marked yet. And so what do? Do we wait until the next government, or do we wait for 10 years to come and say, let's just wait until we get all the signs and have all the money to do that? Or what can we do right now? What can we do right now to help our community and involve them? So let's launch a prototype, which is an early and inexpensive version of a product or solution, where we can test and validate ideas and hypotheses, gain user experiences, gain user feedback, and use that information to create the final product, which will cost way more money. So what we're doing is an exercise of good management of public funds, because we want to ensure ROI. We didn't want to just go build something, spend a lot of money, but didn't work, and we didn't engage the public. So this prototype is the first version. It's located at gov.ky/shoreline. If you have a tablet, if you have a computer, if you have a smartphone, you can access it. And it's using Google Maps. So we've integrated the Google Maps platform, which persons who are digitally savvy should already know how to use. So you don't have to relearn new software. And so what it does is if you pick an access point or choose or select an access point, you will get real-time navigation, whether for walking or driving to each public access point to the shoreline.
And do you have something there also that the point where you're at, if you could inquire as to which is the nearest public beach or public access to where I'm at this point in time, are you going to incorporate features like that into it as well?
Yes. Right now what it does is you can locate each access point, real-time navigation, and then you can also assess what amenities are at those locations. So you'll get little icons if it's for swimming. Are there mobility mats or persons who are special disability persons? Are there bathrooms? So those are some of the key features that we've launched with. We thought we stripped it down to what are the things that we need right now and what we can afford. So we can get you there, whether you're walking or driving, and we can let you know what is there so that before you get there, you can plan.
Okay.
And in the future, we have all these great ideas. We want to do all the things, as you mentioned. So if you click on it, what's the information? Is it a environmental zone? Can we book a cabana? But right now, we wanted to at least transform the information that we had digitally. And I think that's a big win for us because it's been around since, I think, 2007.
Yeah, it was the initial one.
7.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's a win for us. And that took about 2 years for us to compile this information into this application.
Excellent. We have a phone call. We have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. You have a question or comment for panel?
Yes, sir, I do. Thank you very much. And thank you.
You're gonna live long. You're gonna live long. We were talking about you off air. Good to hear your voice.
Indeed. Good to hear your voice, sir.
I hope by the time I finish, you can say the same thing. Now, I've read through this press release that came out, and I'll be putting a response to it in writing. However, in the meantime, Mr. Wilbur mentioned, who I have a lot of respect for, mentioned about the Public Lands Commission. Now, the Public Lands Commission, established under the Public Lands Law, is not even mentioned in this report. All that they're mentioned is the inspectorate. The inspectorate is supposed to be subordinate to the Public Lands Commission. And they are appointed as civil servants under the law, and they do report to the ministry. However, it is important to note that they've been ignored. On the program today, you should have a representative from the appointed members of the Public Lands Commission. Like the chairman should be there today.
Well, we're not saying that we're not saying that won't happen, but this show is designed for a specific purpose this morning, so that will come, at a later date.
Okay. Here's the reason why I'm saying, and I will push back on that. On the map, there are several rights of ways that are deliberately, and I'm going to use that phrase, deliberately not included. For example, there are 2 pedestrian rights of ways that are located at the Royal Palms Carl Caymanian property. There are 2 vehicular right of ways that are located in front of the Kimpton that they've allowed to be blocked. Now, those right of ways blockage has been reported for years to the PLC, reported to the inspectors, but yet still the government is facilitating the continued blocking of those right-of-way.
Caller.
Another one.
Caller.
Yeah, I know you do, sir. I know you're going to want to get rid of me.
No, I'm not going to get rid of you because we have to go to a commercial break. I'll ask you to stay on. But we really want to focus more on what they're here for now in this tool that is applicable. We don't want you to place these. Remember now, these are civil servants who are sitting next to us. They have limited authority, right?
I don't.
We can't. There are things that we can't hold them accountable for, and I wouldn't want you to put them on the spot here when it should be other. It should be others. So I'm asking you to at least respect respect that. So we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to accommodate you for a few minutes more after we return from the commercial break as well. But I want to caution you on that as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
You know what I love to do with my family? Go fishing. I can put the bait on and cast and reel the line all by myself. My mommy and daddy say when they were little, there were plenty more fish to catch, but now there are lots more people fishing, so it's harder to find them. That's why we have marine parks now. They set some areas aside so the fish there can have babies and grow bigger. Then they swim out to other areas where I can catch them. Having the marine parks means there will still be fish there when I'm grown up and fishing with a family of my own.
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
Did you know that there are over 300 public rights of ways to the shoreline across the 3 Cayman Islands? Now you can find them easily with the new Shoreline IMAP at gov.ky/shoreline.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, who's the acting chief officer in the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. We also have the Commission's Secretary, Ms. Melissa Brown-Watler, and the Communications Manager, Ms. Patrice Bersing. We have a caller on hold, Mr. Billy. We're going to give you 2 more minutes, and then we're going to get back on to the conversation, because actually we weren't going to open the phone lines until after 9 o'clock, but you filtered through, so we're going to hear you. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I put a hole in the filter. There's also, while we're talking about right-of-ways, there's a right-of-way that doesn't exist, which is the southern boundary of the Royal Palm property with Island Pines. And that right-of-way sign that's there's no right-of-way shown in that location. I did an FOI to find out where they got the sign, how got the sign, but they avoided answering the question. Now they have put on it right-of-way SMB 61, which really should be at the north boundary of the old Coral Caymanian. So that's illegally installed. They know that. They haven't removed it. The sovereign right-of-way is not shown on the map. That's opposite Burger King on the West Bay Road. Okay, so let's move on to other things in regard to this.
Very quickly.
May and June of 2001, over 500 affidavits were submitted to government for the registration of about 150 prescriptive rights of way. Over the years, that was done by the Concerned Citizens Group. Over the years, we have continued to push for that. At one stage of the game, the then chairman of the PLC, who was the head of Lands and Survey, told us at a meeting with the PLC that the affidavits were out of date and needed to be updated. I had to remind him that an affidavit is a statement of truth. Truth is eternal, and we would not take them back to have them redone. There was no need for it. So they still hold them. They tried to hide them at one time, these 500 affidavits. And we can hear nothing since the implementation of the Public Lands Law and the Public Lands Commission. They have been silent. So when they say they want public input, you've got public input. Do something with it. Don't just...
The input that they want now, we're talking about IMAX. I'm going to cut you off there deliberately now, because I'm going to cut you off there deliberately at this point in time. When the phone line's open, welcome to call back in at this point in time. We do have a WhatsApp message here. This person says, thanks to your guests this morning for giving us some reassurance about our beaches, especially the 7 Mile Beach. My question is, how is Mr. Welcome's department working with the planning department and CPA to accomplish his department's goals for the preservation of our beaches for everyone? So you can answer that, and I know you want to respond, in kind to what our previous caller had to say as well.
Yeah, so just on the message you've read, there is a public consultation for Plan Cayman, and I would encourage the public to give their input regarding that aspect, as well as the setbacks on beaches in that plan. But from an internal point of view, relevant government stakeholders are in discussions about what this coastal setback should be. Right now, we know it's the high water mark, and depending on whether it's an active beach or the type of coastline, it varies, but there are active discussions about revisiting that coastal setback for various areas. And again, one of the good places for the public to give their comments on that is the current ongoing Plan Cayman consultation being undertaken by the Ministry of PAHI. And I reiterate that internally, government stakeholders are discussing that issue as well. So it's not just my ministry, but we also have Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency, and of course the Ministry of PAHI, which whose legislation, the Development and Planning Act, deals with the coastal setback. So it is actively being discussed and reviewed, and again, I encourage the public to engage not only with our campaign, but other government campaigns such as Plan Cayman.
Okay. So let's get back to the topic at hand, the IMAP. Let's get into that again. So we've spoken about how the public can access and engage the Shoreline IMAP.
Mm-hmm.
We've spoken about what does the public shoreline access point give me access to.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go into more details into that?
Sure. Yeah. Features. You
Okay.
can help me, Melissa. So the first one, it enhances public awareness. So it provides the public with accurate location. So it has the longitude and latitude of each point, and you can navigate to it through Google Maps.
Yeah, so as Ms. Beersing mentioned earlier, anyone with a device powered by data, internet, whether a smartphone, tablet, computer, can access and use the Shoreline IMAP. It's at their fingertips. It's very convenient, empowering users with free information. This digital empowerment, users can easily locate public access points to Shoreline and explore the amenities, as we discussed earlier, using their digital communications devices. It bridges the gap between a vast amount of data and user-friendly navigation.
And in terms of the community participation that we're looking forward to is when you use something digital, you get measurable statistics. So in the back end, we get this thing called Google Analytics, and we can see what features each user touches. So we can quantify those things. For example, if we see a lot of touch points or clicks on the amenities, we know that this is something the public wants more information on. If we get clicks or on certain type of locations, then we know that maybe these sort of locations are what the public is interested in. Maybe we need to increase our signages in this type of location, whether it's in a specific district or a specific area. Times, we'll know what times people are accessing the device. So do they access it more in the morning, in the evening, etc. The public will play basically an active role in reporting blocked shoreline access points as well. So not all of the access points have signs. So if they arrive to an access point, they don't see a sign, we want you to contact the PLC and the PLI so that they can prioritize that location, because then that means that that's a location that the public is accessing frequently.
Mm-hmm. So how would they know if there's no signage there? How would they know that it's an access point? That would be based on using the IMAP.
Yeah, because they're going to go. They're looking at their IMAP.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot to tell you this. It gives you street views.
Okay.
So when you get there, before you get there, you can actually see how it's supposed to look. All right? And if you get there and one, it's blocked and or it doesn't have a sign, you pick up the phone or you email or you WhatsApp the PLA. And then we work collaboratively with the PWD to get that area prioritized. It also could be that the sign got knocked down.
Yeah.
Right? So we're working together to ensure that this information is easily accessible and it actually exists.
Yeah. The other thing about the signage is each of these accesses are uniquely numbered.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see numbers. And again, similarly, we want active participation by the public. So where you see a sign that doesn't have a number, please let us know. We have ordered numbers that we're in the process of putting up. And those that we don't have, we will be ordering more numbers. So again, we want a sense of collective ownership and stewardship from the public in regards to this campaign. We want people to feel appreciation for our natural resources and have a feeling that this is theirs as well, and help us to better monitor and ensure it's working the way it should work. So any and all feedback is welcome.
Okay. One of our listeners, and since you're on signs, this person says that they believe that the brighter color for the access signs, such as teal or turquoise, would be make them more visible.
Again, that we can note that.
Yes. Yeah.
We've just attempted to standardize from what was previously erected before 2021, so we've stuck with the brown color. But again, we're not averse to other colors. We're actually in
Caribbean colors, right?
Yeah, we're actually in the process of working with Department of Tourism on some new signage for our public beaches, and I suspect they will be a lot nicer than the brown signs that we have. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Now, we've reached the top of the hour for our headline news. I'm going to crave your indulgence to remain on the show longer so that we can cover all of the things that we want to cover as well. And I know that, Mr. Welcome, you are, open to, dialogue, as well. Folks, top of the hour headline news. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the headline news.
radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
NOAA issues their seasonal forecast for the 2024 hurricane season, expecting 17 to 25 total named storms and 4 to 7 major hurricanes between Category 3, 4, or 5. Singer Sean Kingston has been arrested in California hours after a police raid on his Florida mansion, during which his mother was also arrested. Mr. Kingston was accused in February by a company of not fully paying for a huge TV and sound system. He was taken into custody in Southern California on fraud and theft charges on a Florida warrant. In an earlier social media post, Mr. Kingston said his lawyers were, quote, handling everything. Eyewitnesses described hearing what sounded like an explosion as a 2-story restaurant collapsed on the Spanish island of Majorca, killing 4 people and injuring 16. Police say the victims were a Spanish man, 2 German women, and a Senegalese man who made national headlines in 2017 for rescuing a man who was struggling in waters off the Majorca coast. Part of the Medusa Beach Club, the beachside restaurant is one of the busiest areas in the capital, and it collapsed Thursday night. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're discussing the Shoreline IMAP that has been developed by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. In the studio with us, we have the Acting Chief Officer, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, the Commission Secretary, Ms. Melissa Brown-Watler, and the Communications Manager, Ms. Patrice Bearsing. Again, I'm going to show the mic over to you folks to ensure that you cover all of those areas that you want to cover as well. One of the things that we will be sharing, some real details that you provide for us, the number of beaches, public beaches in Grand Cayman, the number in Cayman Brac, as well as Little Cayman. That's extremely impressive as well.
Yeah, so just in terms of public beaches, we have 57 public beaches in Grand Cayman, 14 in Cayman Brac, and 6 in Little Cayman. Now, I want to stress that these are all different types of beaches, so they range from your beautiful 7 Mile public beach where you have amenities such as cabanas and vending and parking to vacant beaches that are undeveloped, and we're working to get either underbrushed or just simple pathways through the brush. So again, these are crown lands on the waterfront, and I know people will ask about swimming. Some are conducive to swimming, some are not, and that's been done intentionally by the government. We're trying to purchase all different types of shoreline property, because we're trying to cater to all of our public. Some people don't necessarily want to swim. They just want to go by the water, to see the water, to feel the breeze, to be in nature. So again, they're all different types of beaches. And these numbers will move because as you know, we're buying up beaches or shoreline properties as we speak, and and when they become available. In addition to the public beaches, we also have 252 shoreline accesses in Grand Cayman, 28 in Cayman Brac, and 40 in Little Cayman. And just to talk a little bit about how those come about, I know there's the belief out there that the government just picks and chooses where these accesses are going to be. But in truth and fact, these accesses only arise out of certain situations. Some are based on cadastral days and are registered from that. Some, as Mr. Billy Adam in his contribution mentioned, are from prescriptive accesses where they have been used for a certain period of time. And we're working, as he mentioned, to get those registered still. And there's others yet that are done as dedications. So where the landowner, for philanthropic or other reasons, have decided to dedicate a certain portion of their land to access the water. We have quite a few of those. And last but not least, there are certain planning conditions that require certain developers to give a certain amount of access based on the linear feet of their development. So you see a lot of those. That's why a lot of those on 7 Mile Beach exist, because the linear feet of the hotel development, a CPA requirement of them was to create this access and register it. So I don't want people going away and thinking, oh, I looked at the map and there's 2,000 feet of coastline here. Why doesn't the government just put a beach access there? That's not physically how it works. If we wanted to impose that on someone's private property, we would either have to do it by agreement or we would have to go out and buy their property. The government just can't go to some private landowner and say, hey, you have a nice beach at the end here. We want a beach access right here. Unfortunately, that's not how it works yet. So I say that I say that to say to the public that I know some of them are only conducive to foot traffic and not driving your car and parking by a beach access. But that is based on how they've been established and not of the making of the government, at least. So we're hoping to, with your feedback from this process, we can get some constructive feedback to say, you know, it would be good if, for example, and Minister of PA, he might want to hear this, or the hotels might want to hear this, but if you're developing 200 linear feet on the beach in this area, in addition to 6 feet right of way, you need to give 3 parking spaces as well for people to use it, or something along those lines. But all of those things would be welcome in your feedback from this IMAP Shoreline campaign. So we don't want people to just talk about the access and what they see there, whether it's blocked or not. Whatever your comments are, we want to hear what you think about our shoreline accesses and our public beaches.
Okay. So can we...
I do have something to add to that.
Okay.
Right now, because we just launched, we're going to give the public some time to help us test, get familiar. In about a month or so, we will be issuing some polls and surveys with some structured questions covering different aspects of the feedback we're looking for. But in the meantime, and I'll let Melissa take this over, you can still communicate with us. One thing we like about MDAL is we encourage public communication. It doesn't have to be an FOI request. Many times when I get FOIs, I'll just answer the question because FOI was created to created as a fail-safe, but we aim to be transparent with our public in general. So Melissa has been getting some great feedback and constructive questions and criticism, as well of ideas of how to improve and or just in general comments, right? Yeah. So she'll give you the contact information for PLR PLC, and I think she also wants to talk about like cabana bookings and things of that nature.
Okay, thank you. So our public caller office is located at Unit 7 Crown Square, 71 Eastern Avenue. We have many visitors, but if you've not yet located us, please come by and we'll be happy to assist you in person. Or you can call us at 946-7110. or email us at plc@gov.ky. As far as cabana bookings, as we discussed earlier, the cabana bookings are not yet tied to the Shoreline IMAP. However, members of the general public can visit us online at gov.ky public lands, and cabanas are booked by creating a online booking account first, which then allows your easy booking by selecting a calendar date and time based on availability. We are very helpful to anyone who is not exactly tech savvy or needs further guidance. So in any case, you can visit our office at Unit 7 Crown Square, contact us by phone or by email, and you'll be sure to get a reply at earliest. We are quite busy and inundated with requests from the public, but that is why we are here to serve members of our community.
And are there plans to integrate that booking with the IMAP feature as well?
Yes, that is the intention. As Ms. Pearsons mentioned earlier, as we get feedback and as our budget becomes available and being good stewards of that, we plan to integrate all of these positive features for the general public's use.
And to make that request defensible and just justify it, we want you to engage with the app. Right? And engage with us through email, because if we get a lot of requests or suggestions, especially when we issue the survey that integrating some of these features are important to the public, then when we're doing a business case and pitching for the next version, the final version, we have all of that data to help us.
Is there an interest also in knowing whether or not the persons who are interacting with your IMAPs or, providing for you, what demographic it's coming from, whether or not it's a tourist, whether or not it's a person who's resident on island, whether it may be a tour operator who's looking. All those features are going to be there as well?
We see that right now, real time. So with Google Analytics, which is kind of scary.
Okay.
But, Google listens to you, right? So we can
watch you too.
I know. I'm also scared of it. My home assistant will answer questions and suggest things because I know it's listening to me. But we can see where our users are from, their age, the time, exactly where they are. So that's some of the data that it's gonna be helpful to us in terms of a demographic user experience.
But it wouldn't necessarily tell you whether or not they're resident or visiting.
You can typically no. But for example, if they're accessing it using an IP address that is not registered in the Cayman Islands, the assumption there is that they're not a Caymanian resident, and I can see that. And that typically tends to be spot on. If you're not an IP address, if you're registered in Arkansas and you're in Cayman, you may be a visitor. And in statistics, we look at it as forecasting and correlation. So we draw conclusions. But again, when we issue the survey, you will have questions. Are you a resident? Are you a visitor? And that will come in about 2 months, because this campaign is going to run for 6 months.
Okay. So there's another part to the what Melissa mentioned about booking cabanas, why you need to create an online account. And some of that also deals with the demographics. We're trying to determine who's booking cabanas, how many, so we can track when we can expect a high amount of bookings and from whom and from where those persons are. So part of the online account setup is also for those purposes, to determine and ensure that the cabanas aren't being misused and we're not overbooking and depriving other people of opportunities. So you will find that if you try to book all the cabanas on 7 Mile Beach on a particular day, you will get a response that says no. What event are you having? And if it's an organized event, you need to fill out a permit application form. If it's not, the maximum you can rent is 1 cabana or 2 cabanas. But we try to ensure that the general public gets a fair opportunity to share in the experience, as opposed to Mr. Connor booking out every cabana for the fourth quarter of 2024.
Or like ticket scalping, you book it and then they have to come to you then.
Correct.
And so this applies to bonfires as well, use of bookings for bonfires on the beach and all the regulations that apply to that. And as it relates to camping season, we did a campaign last year just to inform the general public of the rules and guidelines around camping, when you can camp, and just the process of applying for a camping permit. And if you think about it as well, you have across the world backpackers who like to visit different places and potentially camp overnight on beaches. So we get a lot of those type of inquiries through our booking system, and we address them accordingly.
Okay, we're going to take another commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Kaleidoscope of Hope, the Alex Panton Foundation's signature gala, Saturday, May 25th, Marriott Beach Resort. Exploring and developing, implementing suicide prevention, mental health resolution focused on children and young people in our community. Kaleidoscope of Hope, the Alex Panton Foundation Gala, supported by Rotary Central. Get your tickets now. ally.spears@outlook.com. That's ALLY.SPEIRS@outlook.com. Rotary Central, creating hope in the world.
Our rich and diverse natural environment is one of our most important assets. Strong coral reefs are our first line of defense against intense storm waves. Healthy seagrass beds and mangrove forests provide a nursery for the sea creatures we depend on, while our native forests stimulate our rain cycles and help to control inland flooding. Economic resilience requires environmental resilience.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, we have the Acting Chief Officer in the Ministry of District Administration and Lands, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, the Public Lands Commission Secretary, Ms. Melissa Brown-Watler, and the Ministry's Communications Manager, Ms. Patrice Bersing. We're talking about the IMAP and the consultation process, as well. We do have 2 callers on hold. We're going to ask the callers to hang in there. We have a few more points that we want to cover first. We want to let you understand exactly the whole consultation process, the various stages of it as well. So I'm going to throw the mic back over to our panel.
Sure. So right now we're in the information sharing stage. We had to let you know that this exists. So that's going to continue for a while, about a month to 2 months. We have various segments of the community. So we're here on Radio Cayman. We're using different platforms. We're going to be on YouTube. We're on social media, on different radio stations as well, because we recognize the various demographics. Email, on our website, gov.ky. But even during the information sharing process, the PLC, the PLI have opened it up. So email them at plc@gov.ky. But we're going to go into
Public Lands Commission, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's what we're doing, information sharing.
Yes, yeah.
In about 2 months, we will have structured feedback with surveys, and that's going to be on our website, which is gov.ky/shoreline. I'm going to keep saying that until it's on the top of your mind. And then we're going to be doing some fun things. So how do we know that you're testing it? How do we know that we're engaging it? We're going to test you. So we're going to be launching a challenge, a social media challenge in about 2 months. That's going to be fun, so that we know that persons know how to use it, where to locate it. And those are our 2 aims. And this will continue for about 6 months. So this is not going to be the only time you hear from us. We'll come back and visit you, Mr. OC, and talk to the public again, because again, it's two-way. It's a collaborative process, partnership between us, the public, and the other organizations that we work with.
Excellent. Ms. Melissa, anything you want to add to that?
I think you wanted to mention about the contest that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that when we come back in about 2 months. But there will be a social media contest.
Prizes.
Yes.
Prizes.
Awesome prizes, actually. So, but we're here first now just to tell you about the IMAP. You need to know what it is first and start testing it. So just go to gov.ky/shoreline to start using it, familiarizing it. Maybe use it this weekend. It's really hot. It's really hot. So go, dip in the water. Or if you just want to take a walk, go down the path. Yeah. I've used it to test it. I remember during COVID, I made this challenge to myself. I was going to go to the beach every week, with the lockdown. So now is the time. If you did have that, did you challenge yourself, use this, it'll help you, because you might not realize that it's actually down the road. There's a public access path.
Yeah. And we're already getting great feedback and interaction with the Public Land Inspectorate, persons visiting since the launch of the Shoreline IMAP, visiting beach accesses and making reports of either blockages, concerns, or positive feedback to us. So we'll be collecting that data as well and passing it along to our wonderful communications officer,
and I'll pass it along to our wonderful acting chief officer. So, and he'll pass it on to our amazing minister, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, who is very supportive of this. And in next year, 2025, we want to launch an amazing app that the entire community can be proud of. That's what the aim is.
Sounds great. Well, let's see what kind of feedback we're going to get from our callers. Our first caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to your guest too.
Morning.
Good morning. As a Caymanian, I am very concerned about what is happening to the beach. I mean, we no longer. You are discussing beach rights, so it's okay if I make a comment about the beaches.
Well, we're actually talking about the public access points, which includes the beaches as well. And if it's a public beach, then it is certainly falls under the remit of the department. So go right ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We used to have 7 Mile Beach. I don't know what percentage of that we have anymore, whether it's 3.5% or 4.4%. I don't know, but I placed a comment sometime back. It's been a while back on your show regarding the beach, the public beach there in South Sound by the public dock. Right now, I drive by there every day, 3-4 times a day, and I'm really concerned what is happening to that beach with the as seagasm, and they keep digging it up with this machine, and a lot of times that it's being dig up, they're taking a good percentage of the sand. And I made a suggestion many years, some time back. Why don't they try to put some kind of a silk screen in that area, even if it's 100 feet out, to stop the percentage of seagasm that is coming in on the beach? And it's only a matter of time. I mean, there's so many people that use that area and the walkway that they have there. It's only a matter of time before we no longer have a little beach there because of what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and caller, are you sure? Are you certain? Are you certain that that's a public beach?
Well, the government built the boardwalk there, and the dock is there, which is owned by government. So I assume that that is part of government. Government owns that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure, but looking at the amount of money that they put in with the boardwalk and the dock that they built there, anyone would assume that it belonged to us.
When I start to test the IMAP out, I'm going to see if that one is on there as a public beach.
Just to confirm, I have a good grasp of what is. The dock and the parking area for the launch ramp in South Sound is a public beach. The area along the boardwalk is not public land. The boardwalk actually sits on the road reserve, so it's not on private property. It is on what we consider road reserve, but seaward of that boardwalk is not Crown land.
Okay. I'm just concerned because even though it's part of Cayman, it's a beach, and if somebody don't take the initiative to address it, even if it's owned privately, they're not going to do anything about it because it's probably, foreign people that owns it, and, I don't think they got that much interest in it, whether the beach is there 10 years from now or 20 years from now, so our kids can enjoy. It's just one of those cases. It just needs to be addressed, right? And somebody needs to do it. And, I don't know, because we're losing all our beaches, and whether it's private or owned by government.
You've heard the. Let me just interrupt you. You've heard the acting chief officer say that government is actively acquiring more and more beach property. So while we may have been heading in that direction some time ago, the current minister who's responsible is reversing that trend and acquiring rather than losing.
Well, see, that is fine. That is all positive. That is good. But who is going to be policing these beaches and make sure that if something needs to be addressed, like what needs to be in South Sound, who is going to do this?
That's what we're talking. That's what we're talking about now, and getting that feedback from the public, and that interaction.
I hope something is done, because there's too many things in this country over the years have been neglected by certain departments, and they just need to be. They need field people out there to address these things, and don't leave it till the next one come along and hoping that they will address it.
Got you.
It just doesn't work.
Got you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Paul?
Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. Yes, good morning to you guys too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, concerning beach access. This is awesome you all are on this morning. In Bogasan Road in West Bay, they have one beach access. And the area where that beach access is, there are a lot of slip ridges, a lot of rocks. And further down going south on Bogasan Road, we had other beach accesses there, which people that bought property left enough space to get to the beach. Mm-hmm. And the majority of those accesses are now blocked off with gates. I had a problem a couple of weeks ago. I had to go through someone's yard to get to the beach because the weather was rough. and where the beach access was next to the slippery edges, I was not able to get to the beach without getting hurt on the slippery edges rocks. And you can get seriously injured walking across those rocks, or you could even be killed. And a gentleman came to me and told me, because I went through his yard to get to the beach, and he told me I was not allowed to do that, which made me almost get myself in problem with trespassing. And I told him that the beach access that I usually use is blocked off with a gate. And a gentleman came there then with a key and opened the gate, walking his dog. And I asked him who gave him permission to block off the beach access, because they have a sign on the gate saying only those with keys have access to the beach. And I told the man, I said, that's not right. I said, we've been using this beach access from as far as I remember. This has been a beach access. And I asked him where he stayed. He said he stayed in the condos across the road from the beach access. I said, you all don't have the right to block off that beach access like that. And I said to him, I said, what if the ambulance needs to get to the beach? And he said to me, why would the ambulance want to get to the beach? I said, someone could be drowning. And I said, seconds count when it comes to saving someone's life. So I said, you all don't have the right to be blocking off this beach access. So in Bogasan Road, we need at least 2 more beach accesses in that area. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of homes built there, and every one of those homes have a beach access, but the majority of those gates are blocked off. And these people are foreigners, so they don't realize the importance as a Caymanian being able to go to the beach without having any problems or getting yourself in any problems going through someone's yard. That's not right. And like I told him, if the ambulance need to come and save someone's life and that gate is blocked off, they're going to be in serious problem. So I hope you all make this law and put this law in place that if these people continue blocking off beach accesses, which could allow someone to lose their life because of their selfishness, you all need to make a law that there are some serious penalties involved if they do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Mr. Wilbur, we're going to have you respond to those callers as soon as we return from this commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Christian Association of Civics is pleased to announce that the March for Jesus will be taking place in Cayman Brac, 22nd of June, 2024. Visit Christian.ky for more information or call or WhatsApp 929-6657. Cayman Brac, get your shoes ready. It's the March for Jesus coming on June 22nd.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together.
The Economics and Statistics Office is currently conducting the annual business surveys until June 14th. The surveys seek to collect information needed to answer these questions. How did the economy perform in 2023? In 2023, how much did foreign companies invest in the Cayman Islands? The surveys include all relevant entities that produce goods and services in the Cayman Islands. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and are exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the ESO. Remember, better data, better decisions, better business. For assistance in filling out the forms or for more information, visit www.eso.ky or call 244-4676 or 244-4600.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We are discussing the IMAP's application with representatives from the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. So in the studio we have the Acting Chief Officer, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, in the studio with us. Also, we have the Commission Secretariat, Ms. Melissa Brown-Watler, and the Communications Manager in the Ministry, Ms. Patrice Bearsing. We've deviated a little bit to accommodate calls. I just want to remind our callers that the people that we have in the studio, they're not policymakers, right? They're only there charged with implementing the policies that are made by the political directorate. So they're bound by legislation, they're bound by directives and everything. So anything that you're addressing, it should be in general terms and not addressed specifically at them. I just want to bear that in mind, because I've been a former civil servant, so I'm going to not sit behind this mic and not defend them and not put them on the firing line where it isn't warranted as well. So we do have a caller, but I'm going to give Mr. Welcome an opportunity to respond to the other callers first. So caller, just hang in there. We will take your call. Just remember the parameters that I have laid out as well.
Just to quickly note on the last caller's point about Bogasan. So the public access or the shoreline access, we do understand it's to what he quote unquote calls slippery rock. I just wanted to highlight that there's various types of shoreline accesses. Mm-hmm. So not all of our shorelines will go to Sandy Beach. And again, as I mentioned earlier today or this morning, the government doesn't have a mechanism to create these new shoreline accesses. These have originated in various different ways. The other access he talked about that is now locked, that is a private access. So there is a distinguishment between our public shoreline accesses that we have all signed and the private accesses. Now, what I will ask him is if he wants to have a conversation about making a complaint and potentially filing an attempt to have it registered as a public access, because he has been using it for 20 years or more based on the Prescription Act, that can be done. Simply send an email to plc@gov.ky and we'd be happy to reach out to him to have a conversation about how we can get that process started. It is a thing that the PLC has taken on in the past. We recently had one in Northside that was blocked, and we engaged the AG's chambers, and they've reached out to the landowner, and the landowner moved the fence to create the access, so it's no longer blocked. So we are aware of some of these, but again, part of this process, we want to hear from you. Mm-hmm. So for that last caller, please write to the plc@gov.ky about that blocked access so we can determine his usage and how long he's been using it and whether it meets the necessary criteria. The caller before him, they talked about sargassum, and I think he kind of alluded to erosion. That is an issue not only in South Sound, but across all three islands. And respectfully, I would say that that's going to require a broader public-private partnership across the whole Cayman Islands, because it can't be thought that the government will take on the renourishment of all beaches and protection of all beaches from sargassum or other factors without some engagement or assistance from the private sector, because it's, one, not cost effective for the government to do it all, and two, a lot of these areas are not public beaches. So in the end, if we were to go down that route, I would suspect, again, I'm not a policymaker, but I, putting on my crystal ball, I would foresee that if the government were to do something that the public would expect access to that beach. And if that's private land, I'm not sure that private landowner would be so acquiescing to such a request. So it is a lot of considerations regarding on how we deal with various types of shorelines and the factors that impede them. But again, that's a broader policy question that we need to address, not just from us sitting in this room and those listening, but as a country as a whole. We know the sargassum blooms get bigger every year. We know they affect our entire coastline. They affect the tourism product. They affect our locals when they visit the beach. So you combine that with rising tides, rising seawater levels and erosion. So it is a larger issue to discuss as to how we deal with it as a country.
And the government and officials haven't named it Public Lands Commission by accident. It is what it says. It is public lands, not private lands.
Correct. And the Public Lands Act specifically goes into define what is public lands or crown lands.
Yeah. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning, O.C.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Wilbur and the rest of your panel.
Morning.
Yeah, I just have a question. Maybe OC can help me get some clarity on this. So back in last year, September, I applied for a vendor's permit and a license to sell alcohol on 7 Mile Public Beach. It's a little bit off topic, but I think this is a good opportunity to get some questions in there.
Go right ahead.
And I was granted a liquor license to serve the alcohol on public beach under the current Public Lands Commission, the new vendors policy. I did not receive a grant of a vendor permit from the Public Lands Commission. So now I'm stuck in a kind of a limbo where I have a liquor license which I have to pay a substantial amount of money for, as you're aware. You may be aware. And now I have no vendor's permit. So the sum that I paid back in September is essentially going to waste because I have not been able to use it. And I have this liquor license in hand since September. Now I have been in contact with the PLC. I've been in contact with Mr. Wilbur. We did meet and we did discuss it. He was to get back to me from the last I spoke to him was March. Back in March, he said he was waiting on a cabinet decision, March 28th to be exact. But I haven't heard anything back as yet in regards to this permit. So my question is, is there a way that I could possibly get a refund on my liquor license from government? I mean, how is it possible for one government entity to grant you a permit to do something the other entity is telling you, no, you can't do it after you've already committed and paid this large sum of money for your permit?
Okay. What we'll try to do is we'll try to deal with the whole concept rather than getting in to your personal situation, because I would prefer that you deal, directly with the department on that rather than having it aired, on public radio in terms of that. But we can deal with the general principle, in terms of how you go about. You've obtained a liquor license. I think you said that you had been granted permission by the Public Lands Commission as well?
No, I didn't get the permission from them. I've been granted a liquor license because.
Oh, you got the liquor license before you got the sought the permission.
Yes, because that's what I was instructed to do
Okay.
by the Public Lands Commission to get permission from the Liquor Board before I come to them.
Got you.
So I did that,
Mm-hmm.
and that was granted, but then I was denied by them without any reasoning. And I know there is some ongoing stuff with that in regards to some of the vendors down there.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not, up to speed on exactly what's taking place down there right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. Paul, we're going to close off the phone lines. We're going to give Mr. Welcome an opportunity to respond to that the last callers, and then after that, we want to recap, on the IMAPs and everything. You still want to go over that. They have really, indulged me in terms of staying longer. There was due to leave at 9:15, and it's now 9:45, and they're still here. So we're certainly appreciative of that as well. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Brought to you by Cayman National, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. We're discussing the Shoreline IMAP. That discussion has taken place with the Acting Chief Officer in the Ministry of District Administration and Lands, Mr. Wilbur Welcome. the able Mr. Welcome, I should say. Also in the studio with us, we have the Commission Secretary, Ms. Melissa Brown-Watler, and the Communications Manager, Ms. Patrice Bear-Singh. So the Shoreline IMAP is an interactive map. It's on an online tool available at www.gov.ky/shoreline. It allows users to explore the 3 Cayman Islands and to locate public pedestrian pathways to the shoreline as well as public beach areas. I just read that, so don't think that I'm an expert on this.
You
I have the experts around the table, and one of our experts, Ms. Patrice Bear-Singh. So give us a recap of the whole IMAP process.
Sure. So you've defined it excellently. You get an E+. So that means that we achieved our objective today to inform and educate you on what it is we're offering. And just to wrap up the Ministry of District Administration and Lands, we call it MDAL. We are committed to environmental stewardship, digital empowerment, and community participation. Our vision is a future where the beauty and the benefits of the Cayman Islands shoreline are universally recognized and preserved. Today, we invite the public, whether it's residents, boaters, fitness enthusiasts, families, explorers, and beach lovers, to engage with our new Shoreline IMAP located at gov.ky/shoreline and test it out. Test out the tool, discover, explore, report on good things, report on challenging things, and celebrate our shoreline access points. We have over 300 public access points across the 3 islands. So your engagement is crucial in safeguarding our shoreline heritage. Together, we can ensure that future generations inherit the same pristine beauty that defines the Cayman Islands. And we thank you for having us on. If you want to find out more, you can email at plc@gov.ky.
Okay, Ms. Melissa.
I'm just excited to be a part of this great project. The Shoreline Access Map is a phenomenal tool available to the general public of the Cayman Islands. And we welcome your feedback. We welcome you to enjoy our shorelines and help us to make it more enjoyable and more better for the wider public as you use this tool going forward. And just excited to see what will unfold in the coming months, and looking forward to hearing from the general public on this.
And as far as the contact information for the Commission Secretariat?
Okay, the ideal way to contact us is by email, plc@gov.ky. You can visit us at Unit 7, Crown Square Plaza, or contact us. I've just lost the number.
By phone.
By telephone.
Yeah,
listed on the government portal as well.
Yes.
Excellent.
And of course, in the day of internet, you can do a Google search. Public Lands Commission, Cayman Islands, and you will definitely find us.
Right. Yes. And Mr. Welcome, again, as I told the last caller, we will discuss the subject matter as opposed to getting into his specific details of his specific situation as well.
Absolutely understood. Just in regards to the 7 Mile Beach vendor policy, which is tangential or part of the work that the PLC has undertaken recently, Cabinet recently approved some amendments to that policy, and that new policy should have been published on our website.
It is.
The amendments include now a review process for those persons that have applied and feel disenfranchised by any decisions made. They can contact, again, plc@gov.ky. The review process is on page 43 of the policy, section 16, and it's very plain reading. We tried to make it that way for all and sundry. So if you've not been received any correspondence from us regarding the review process, please reach out. For those that don't have emails in our system from being applicants, we will be sending registered mail and doing press release in the near future. But yes, there is no review process, and I would direct the caller and anyone else that feels aggrieved by any decision of the PLC to undertake that review process. so they can have their application reviewed and be fully heard. So that's what I would say to that caller. And I mean, as he mentioned, he has my contact details, so if he wants to reach out offline, happy to respond to him and share a copy of the policy and walk through the review process with him and anyone else for that matter.
Sure. Yeah, you always make yourself accessible. That's what people like about you. You will sit down, explain the process to them, and you can do that in such a cool, calm, and collected manner that when you even have not such good news to give people, they even appreciate that as well. So that is a excellent quality. Now I have a question, and I don't own a boat, but do the public docks fall under the commission, as well? And just off the top of your head, what usage as far as the public piers are concerned? I know several years ago there was a back and forth with some of the commercial operators in terms of using the government docks. And in Cayman there was a period of time when you could assist everyone, and there was basically, I wouldn't call it a free-for-all, but we were certainly much more lax in our application of the regulations and stuff like that. Now, in Cayman, it is, almost like a free-for-all. People want to do things. They want to do it unregulated. They want everything for free. They don't want anyone to tell them, what to do. Completely different situation. So, public docks, what's the situation?
So one of the mandates of the Public Lands Commission is to regulate commercial activity on Crown land. Public docks are considered Crown property, and they sit on what we call the King's Bottom, which is considered also Crown land based on the definition in the Act. So the inspectors do enforce against people undertaking commercial activity on Crown docks. There's also provisions in the regulations that prohibit things such as overnight docking and other uses of Crown docks that are not conducive to the general public use. So there are specifications in the regulations, and our inspectors, when they carry out their routine patrols, including or shoreline accesses and public beaches, they also check our docks. They check non-operational Crown land. So there are, if you don't see them driving along 7 Mile Road or 7 Mile Beach, that doesn't mean that they're not out, because their task is wide and varied. I'll give you a good example. They went out to East End a few weeks ago to check the beach accesses out or shoreline accesses out that way, and ended up finding illegal structure on Crown land.
Wow.
Vacant, non-operational Crown land that they were checking, and they had to report that and deal with that matter. So it's not a simple drive around, all the signs are up, no bush in this access, no bush. It is quite an involved process at times. There are vacant Crown lands where we've found, unfortunately, people that are down on their luck or otherwise that are occupying the property illegally, and we work with the various agencies such as NAU and other government agencies to have them placed appropriately. So it is a involved process, and docks and other non-operational Crown lands are also part of the remit of the enforcement of the inspectorate.
Great. So, Ms. Bersing, summer's coming up. Kids are going to be out of school. Many are going to be going to our beaches as well. Isn't it an ideal situation for them to start to test that IMAP and find where those locations are and stuff like that? Would you encourage those families to make use of the app now that has been created?
Yes, I would indeed encourage the parents who own the cars and are legally able to drive to access the map to facilitate their kids going to the shoreline access points. Yes.
Yeah. While we're on that point, one of the points I wanted to raise that we're also trying to raise awareness on is, when you get to the end of a shoreline access, what can you do and where can you do it? So based on the current legislation, I think we touched on this earlier, is there is a high water mark. So anything seaward of the high water mark is considered Crown land. And in the Prescription Act, it then goes on to detail what you can do. So it says the public may in these areas, subject, of course, to any other legal requirements, you may fish, undertake purposes incident to fishing, or you may bathe or have recreation. And again, that's seaward of the high water mark. Landward of the high water mark would be considered private property. Now, as we kind of mentioned earlier, there are reviews of this high water mark being undertaken, and again, I draw people back to the general public, back to the Plan Cayman that's being discussed.
Yes.
That's a good opportunity for you to raise any concerns you have about the current high water mark or setback line. So, but I just wanted to raise that because we do get that question a lot of, well, I'm at the shoreline access and I'm at the end of it. What can I do now? So we wanted them to know that seaward of the high water mark, and I know invariably we'll get the next question is, well, how do I know where the high water mark is? Most of those properties have boundary markers, but in general, it is where the waves are, the highest point the waves come to the shore. And last but not least, you will, as you go around, see different types of shoreline accesses. Some will say beach access, some will say shoreline access, no diving, such as in the Pedro area. Or jump at your own risk, or things along that line, no swimming. And again, it's not to discourage people from using it, it's just to make people aware of the hazards of the shoreline access. So we wanted to sign them and let people know they're there and they can be used, but also be aware of the dangers that are there. So again, if you see a no swimming sign and you swim, it's swimming at your own risk. If you see a no diving sign, you dive, it's diving at your own risk. But again, we felt that was not a good reason not to sign the access. So the access will still have a sign that said shoreline access, whatever the number is, and the arrows pointing to where you should go. So feel free to use them, but please be aware of the notices on each respective sign. And if you get an access and you don't think the sign comports with what you see out there, let us know that as well. This is an engagement tool. We want to hear from you.
Yep. And I'll share this last one with you. This person says, I'm a 74-year-old Indigenous Caymanian. I've been walking the beach for health reasons, mainly, as well as recreational activities with my grandkids. However, lately there's no parking space available. The workers from the hotel next door have occupied those as well. Hope something is done, about that. So again, these are the types of feedback that you want to hear, from people as well. So you take into consideration. Folks, I want to thank you all very, very, very much for indulging with my request and staying on for the extended period of time. For listeners out there, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, for the record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.